Let's talk about the vets, though, that are currently free agents. Still some big names, especially names that you know a lot of information about, it seems like, every time we talk to you. Earl Thomas is still out there. Antonio Brown knows that he has an 8-game suspension currently at the moment. He's still out there. Jadaveon Clowney still out there. What are you hearing about them? And are teams just waiting to pull the trigger, or is it all on the player side here?
Well, okay, so Antonio Brown first. I really, truly believe that if he does not screw up, like if he's on his absolute best behavior, and there's no more off the field stuff that comes out. Geno Smith, Russell Wilson are pushing for him pretty hard in Seattle. Seattle's dealt with players that can be pretty mercurial. I think if the season starts and Seattle sits there and goes, hey, this is like an over-the-top player we can add in the middle of the season, and all of a sudden, we feel pretty good about the start, but this is sort of the enhancement that we get, maybe almost the way the Patriots tried to add Antonio Brown last season, because they felt like, hey, this is the piece that clicks everything in place. I'd be shocked if Seattle doesn't really maybe make a run at Antonio Brown once his suspension's up.
Okay, Chucky Robinson, some breaking news there with Antonio Brown. I mean, that might have been on Yahoo Sports earlier. I did not see it. That's on me. But that is big news there that the Seattle Seahawks are pushing hard to get in the Antonio Brown sweepstakes. How about Jadaveon Clowney? What's going on with him? I assume there's teams interested.
Well, there's teams interested, but okay, so the Titans still have not been able to get him in for a physical. I think they're really frustrated. Yannick Ngakoue, that trade did not help him. Okay, so Ngakoue goes to Minnesota. He takes the haircut for $12 million a season, and already you had teams that were staring at Jadaveon Clowney going, we want to offer you $12 million a season. Seattle came out of the box at $12 million a season for one season for Jadaveon Clowney. He left a deal, so Cleveland offered him 1, 2, and 3-year deals that were all between $17 and $18 million. That's not coming. Any team I've talked to now, that's just not something they'd be interested in offering him. The longer this is gone, I think the less likely it is that he's going to get north of $15 million, and he's not getting anything beyond a 1-year deal. So I said this repeatedly. I'll keep repeating it. I think it's Tennessee and Seattle, and I think it's all on Clowney deciding, really what the number is that he's willing to play for. And if it's sub 15, this, I think, can get done. Maybe it's 12 or 13 with incentives that could potentially push it, but there's just his market is not great. And then Ngakoue trading, Ngakoue taking $12 million and not winning a no franchise clause in the trade was something that really hurt. Think about this.
Jadaveon Clowney? Hold on, no. Like, if his agent lost him $51 million potentially from Cleveland or whatever it is.
It wasn't his agent, though.
You think it's Clowney? That's 100% Clowney, huh?
Absolutely. That was Clowney. There's been times where teams have said, is he going to fire Bus Cook? Like, they're like, is there a problem between Jadaveon Clowney and Bus Cook? Because there have been times where teams have told me they've reached out to Bus Cook and said, we need to get Jadaveon on the phone. We want to talk to him. And Bus Cook was kind of like, I'll do what I can, and so this is Jadaveon Clowney absolutely who's driving this. But again, think about Ngakoue. You had the Minnesota Vikings who are like, we could go sign Clowney for $15, $16, $17 million for a season, or we could give up a 2nd-round pick and a 5th-round pick, and go get Yannick Ngakoue for $12 million. Instead, we'll give up the assets and the money and go get Yannick Ngakoue. I mean, I don't want to say it's an indictment on Jadaveon Clowney, but there's concerns about him having sat out all this time, the injuries from prior, the fact he hasn't been in for physicals. There's just a lot there.